What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Bullshot Darts. So this last weekend I had a darts tournament and masks were mandatory, so I just wanted to hop on here and kind of talk about what it was like throwing with a mask on. It was the first tournament I threw with the mask on, so I wasn't sure how it was going to affect my darts, so I just want to come on here and talk about how that was. And I was also able to get the W for the tournament, so also just want to talk about the tournament as a whole because it was a lot of fun. But first, guys, it is Bullshot's mission to grow the sport of darts. So if you are new, please make sure to hit that subscribe button, drop this video a thumbs up, and also go check out bullshotdarts.com. I will be having some merch up on there pretty soon, so I'm really excited about it, guys. So please make sure you go check out the Bullshot website. So before I get into this video, I do want to give a big shout out to Rob. He is a local here. We were supposed to have a Dart Players, a Chicago event on Saturday, but it ended up getting postponed. And Rob decided that Chicago would not be dartless this weekend, and he put on this round robin to knockout tournament. So big shout out to Rob for keeping darts alive this last weekend in Chicago. So yeah, before I get into the mask stuff, I just want to talk about the tournament as a whole, and also talk about a video I recorded last week in which I threw darts with the mask on that I'm not even going to upload because what I said on that video ended up not being true at all when I was at the tournament. So I'll also get into that. So the tournament was a round robin to knockout, which I absolutely love round robin tournaments because it's guaranteed darts. So whatever your buy-in is, it is impossible to be one and done, right? I know a lot of people don't go play dart tournaments because they're like, well, why am I going to spend money? I'm going to play one match and I'm just going to lose. Well, first of all, that is a terrible mindset to have, and if you have that mindset, you will never win any matches at tournaments. But that's what's nice about round robins is that you get your money's worth, because this was a $20 tournament to enter, and my board had 4 people on it. There it is, 180. My board had 4 people on it, and we played 5 legs against each person. So for my $20 buy-in, I got a guaranteed 15 legs of darts. So that was really cool. I didn't shoot that well really the whole day. This kind of goes in with the mask situation. I feel like the mask definitely slowed me down, but I'll talk about more about that when I get into the mask portion of this video. But so shot the round robin. I won 2 of my matches, 4-1 and 3-2, and then my last match I lost 2-3, but I was still able to make it to the knockout round. And then the knockout round, my first match in the knockout round was my best darts of the day, and I threw an 81, which I'm not going to sit here and say an 81 is bad darts, because 81 still is solid. But with the way my darts have been flying lately, during the match, like, I didn't really feel like I was throwing well. I remember just so many darts I was missing at doubles, and my scoring was just kind of all over the place. You know, it was one of those days where it was like, throw 180, next round 41. Then I'll throw 140, next round 26. So my consistency was just non-existent at this tournament. And then it went into the finals, and in the finals, it was really fun. You know, there was only 9 people that showed up to the tournament, and by the time the finals rolled around, there was maybe like, 5 people there. Me, my opponent, Rob, the guy who was running it. I think 1 or 2 other players were still there, and my girlfriend was there. And just like, 1 or 2 guys at the bar and the bartender. But we still had walkouts, so that was just a really fun part of the tournament. And yeah, and it was my first time doing any kind of walkout. I don't know. It was funny. It was a lot of fun. I walked out to the Daniel Bryan song, Flight of the Valkyrie. If you guys have watched some of my older videos, I've talked about WWE and stuff. I love wrestling, and Daniel Bryan's one of my favorites, and I love the Yes movement. So put on Flight of Valkyrie, and I came out, doing my yeses. If you want to check that out, I did upload it on Instagram, so you guys go check out the Bullshot Darts Instagram, and that's where I got that video. I think I shared it on Facebook too, so if you follow on Facebook, it is also on there as well. And then in the finals, same thing. I shot finals against Mark, Mark is the one that beat me in the round robin. He beat me 3-2. It was a really good match. He was hitting some big shots, and his doubles were really good. I remember a few times where like I was sitting behind him and he would just have one dart at the double. And in my mind, I'm thinking, you know, you always have to stay optimistic in those situations. So in my mind, I'm like, all right, just please miss this double so I can go up and have a look at mine. And he would take it out. And that, you know, that hurts always when it's on the third dart. But really good match. I think I threw a 73, or maybe he shot a 73. I don't remember. We were both in the low 70s though. And same thing, just, you know, my darts weren't terrible, but they just didn't feel well. And based on that average, you know, I definitely should be throwing higher than that. But yeah, so that was a tournament, a lot of fun. Big thank you again to Rob for making it happen. And, you know, 9 people showed up, so I'm happy at least 8 other people showed up. I wish more people were there. You know, like I said, round robin's guaranteed darts, so, you know, I was hoping we would have some newer players there and a bigger crowd, but Chicago does have the mask mandate. Well, I guess all of Illinois has the mask mandate now, so maybe that was the reason people didn't come out too. I don't know, but let's get to the mask portion of this video. So, funny story. Last week, I recorded a video throwing darts with the mask on because I think I only done it once or twice, and it was a long time ago, like right when COVID, or not when it first started, but right when things opened back up. I think it was like October of last year, so it's pretty much been a year since I've thrown darts with the mask on, and I only did it once or twice, so I didn't really remember. So I decided I would make a video, like, all right, I'll throw some darts without the mask, put the mask on, and report how I felt. And the findings of that video, I was actually pretty positive about it. I was like, oh, this actually wasn't bad at all. It didn't affect my darts. I think I threw, in the video, I think I threw 6 rounds with the mask on. I had 2 121s, a 125, I think, and maybe a 140. So, like, the darts were there. So it was funny because I made that video and I was reporting, like, you know, oh, I haven't thrown tournaments with mask on because I thought it would mess up my darts. Now I recorded this video and I'm like, oh, it's actually not that bad with the mask on, and I can throw darts with it on, and it's not, you know, a big problem. So going into this tournament, I had this mindset of like, all right, throwing with the mask on isn't that bad. Let's do it. Well, needless to say, it changed so much once the darts became competitive. You know, it's so much easier to throw darts at home in the comfort of your own home versus being in a competitive environment. And being in that competitive environment definitely made the mask extremely noticeable. And that was the biggest part of my darts, excuse me, was that my mind wasn't really in the darts. It was more about the mask. I was throwing inconsistent, and I know it was because of the mask, and I just had a hard time getting out of that funk. I've talked about this in other videos before, but you know, it's kind of like I always empty my pockets when I throw darts because feeling things inside my pockets messes me up, because I'm consciously thinking like, oh, I got this thing in my pocket, I can feel it on my leg. May sound weird, but it's just, maybe I'm not the only one. I don't know. You guys tell me, drop a comment how you feel about this stuff. But, and then with my watch, when I first started throwing darts with the watch on, it was like, all right, I'm conscious of this thing that's on my wrist. That I eventually got used to and I don't think about it anymore. But that was the feeling I was having with my mask on. The mask wasn't messing up my darts, because you guys know, I've had people make jokes about it that I kiss my dart every time I throw. But I like purse my lips a little, and I always touch my lips. So when I had the mask on, it was even more because the mask comes off the face more, and it also kind of pushes back on my dart. But like I said, when I was practicing at home, it didn't bother me at all, and my darts were still fine. But then I got to the tournament and I couldn't do it. And like I said, it's not about the mask messing up my darts, but I was conscious of the fact I had this mask on my face, and it became a thing of like, I'm throwing inconsistent, I know it's because of this mask. How can I adjust the mask or adjust my throw to fit the mask being on my face? So like I tried throwing it with it all the way up, and then I would drop it just a little bit and throw. I just couldn't figure out a way. So then in my mind, I'm thinking like, okay, how can I adjust the mask to make this throwing good? And then that's where my mindset was most of the time, as opposed to just focusing on my darts. I say it all the time. When you're throwing darts, your mind needs to be in the game of darts. You can't be thinking about what you're gonna have for dinner, or you know, what you're gonna do after the tournament, or what you're gonna do after that match. Your darts need to be in the game at all times, and that's where the inconsistency comes in, and that's where mine was. Because the second I had 1 or 2 bad darts, it was like, okay, how can I adjust my mask to make it more consistent? But yeah, so anyway, I just thought that was kind of funny because I did make that video. Maybe I'll still upload it one day, the mask video, but in the video, I'm just all like, oh, throwing with the mask isn't that bad. Like, I'll throw with the tournaments with my mask on and, you know, not even think about it. A couple days later, I throw in a tournament and it was just like messing me up big time. But all right, guys, I'm gonna get one more throw in here. Whenever I say that, I always throw my worst darts. So let's see what happens. I'm just happy I at least got 180 in the video, but. Yeah, as you guys know, like I've been saying, my darts have been flying really well lately. Just last week, I threw a best of 21 on the Dart Connect, and I threw an 89.5. And like, part of me was really excited that I threw an 89.5, but then I was also like, if I could have just hit one of those doubles that I missed, I could have been in the 90s in a best of 21. But so I had that. So like going to the tournament and throwing 70s and that 81, it's not that those are necessarily bad darts. Like, I never want to make it seem like, oh, these darts suck. It's just, for me personally, I know I need to throw better than that. So I have no idea what I'm even saying anymore, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Some videos popped up over here. Make sure you check them out. Subscribe if you're new. Check out bullshotdarts.com. I got some shirts coming out. And I think that's all. I'll see you all in the next one, and shoot well.